And what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt ordinance number 64, 2021, and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 64 carries. Ordinance number 65.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to offer ordinance 65, 2021 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 74-2020 relative to current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Macedonia for the period of January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021.
Director Veras.
Keep wanting to grab this, but it's not working anyways. Thank you, Mayor. There's a memorandum attached to the proposed amendment. Some of the highlights on the revenue side, we created the local fiscal recovery fund to receive this year's portion of the American Recovery Plan Act money, $628,500. We'll get another $628,500 next year. Some of the appropriation changes were for retirements, website improvements, the parking lot across from the rec center at Windmill Lake. I'm sorry, what? Golden Links. No, I was right. First.
Windmill Golf Center.
Windmill Golf Center. I'm thinking Windmill Lake's the golf club. And begin the process for our new service department center. We need to do an EPA study and hire a criteria architect for developing the architectural design plans, specs. That's it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt ordinance 65, 2021 and pass and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ordinance number 65 carries. Are there any other motions or legislative actions? Hearing none, I will move into the mayor's report. For Mayor's Court, the September revenue was $18,004.79. If you haven't seen by now, our mural on Route 82 is complete. I have to thank Councilor Tully because I missed it. It was actually in the Beacon Journal. There was a nice write-up about the mural that we had the collaboration with the schools there, keeping in mind that the kids that were in the school, this has been a project we've talked about for the better part of, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years, and we were delayed just like everything else. But I want to thank and applaud the efforts of the kids in the school that helped with that because I think it turned out fantastic. It looks great, and I'm very proud to have that, and we're going to build upon that in the future. So very nice job with that. Second thing is last week we had our, celebration for the 100 years of our fire department. It's hard to believe 100 years that our fire department's been in existence, and it was an amazing tribute to the department and the people that work in the department currently, past, present, and potentially in the future. And it's a little awkward for me today because I've never worn a t-shirt here, but this is my fire department tee along with some of my colleagues up here. But we wanted to show a little thank you to your department for doing that, Chief. And we thought that was just an amazing event. And again, a beautiful tribute to the department. So thank you for all you did there. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Next one is probably the biggest one for me this evening, but we got a $75,000 grant for our senior center. Thanks to Sherry Kuzma. Again, that lady works so hard and does so much good for the fire department and our senior center. To get that was just absolutely amazing. So you may ask yourself, well, what are we going to do with $75,000 in there? We may have to shift a few things around, but my intention is to get transportation for our seniors. I've been asked about this so many times over the years about getting something for them to have transportation, and this grant can help facilitate that. So when I say transportation, I don't want to say bus because there's a little bit of a change in society. They have those I think they're called Sprinter vans now, where they have handicap accessible, and we're gonna work through that. And I don't want anyone to jump to any conclusions, but I think it's going to be something we're gonna have to figure out how we're going to do it and the liabilities that come along with that. But we're going to work towards getting that for them as soon as possible. I think it's going to be an amazing thing to help, and maybe we could take them on little trips somewhere. I don't know yet, but I've reached out today to some neighboring communities that have these types of transportation to see what they do, how they operate it, and I'm going to kind of mold into what we're going to do with it. So awesome stuff, and more to come on that in the near future. I got word this week, and this should be pretty exciting for everyone. Aladdin's is back at the table. So everyone that wanted the different types of food and isn't tired of beef and chicken, I guess Aladdin's is back at the table. So they're back at the table. That's all I can say. I'm not guaranteeing anything because every time I guarantee something when it comes to a restaurant, it seems to fall flat, but they're back and talking to us again. And last but not least, please don't drive distracted. Put the phones down and drive the vehicle. All right, next up is committee reports.
Nothing new from the Parks and Rec Commission, other than our next meeting will be on Tuesday, the 19th, as opposed to Wednesday, which is our regularly scheduled meeting. We moved it back a day due to some sports commitments from the parents. So it will be Tuesday, October 19th, in the activity room at the rec center at 6 o'clock. And that's all.
I have an update for the Finance Committee. We have been meeting to go over the 2022 budget, and our next meeting will be held on the 25th here in the Council Caucus Room at 6 p.m.
For the cemetery board, we got our quote back for healthcare, but we're only rating up one person. It's going up by 5%, which we're actually pretty excited about because that's a pretty low number to take care of a person's 5%. The other thing is, if you look at the fence around the cemetery, the primer is on all of the fence. We've also included now the gates, and we're going to move on with the painting. And guess what? Yes, the paint is in short supply. Our administrator has gone to numerous stores at Sherwin-Williams, it's numerous towns, and is having difficulty getting the paint, but we're not giving up. Our goal was to have it painted by the end of this year. That's it.
Thank you. All right, we'll move into department reports. First up is Director Karras.
Thank you, Mayor. As you look around, fall is here, and the service department was busy installing fall decorations throughout City Hall and the park. We got plenty of positive comments about that. We also assisted with the fire department's 100-year celebration. I want to let the residents know that leaf collection will begin Monday, October 25th. We plan on having 4 crews out on a regular basis. We will be setting up the street activity sheets, and we will be posting those to the website. Final pickup for leaf collection will be the week of November 26th. Couple of simple rules. Leaves should be piled in windrows and not to exceed 10 feet from the edge of the road and placed 10 feet away from all roadside obstructions, i.e. mailboxes, trees, hydrants, street signs. Keep piles off the roadways and out of the ditches so that water flow is not impeded or obstructed. And please, only leaves. No additional debris like grasses or the tall ornamental grasses are to be placed in the piles. And please contact the service department if you have any additional questions, and we also have these rules on our website as well. The service department also completed driveway culvert installations. We completed 6 since our previous council meeting, and we have about 3 more to do before leaf collection really begins, and we'll probably finish up the few during leaf collection. And we also performed spot patching over the last few weeks with hot mix, and we placed over 16 tons of asphalt in those areas. That concludes my report.
I don't have a hearing to have, so I'm going to turn out my hearing aids. Did you address the 2 people that you're down 2 people that resigned, I believe, and you're looking?
So we are currently looking.
Tell that there may be people out there.
So the service department is currently looking for 2 service employees to apply to do street plowing and maintenance. If anybody's interested, please contact the service department or HR, and we will gladly accept your application. Thank you.
And just to be clear, I'm going to reemphasize what he said about the leaves. You cannot put leaves in the road. If you are putting leaves in the roadway, the building department will be paying you a visit and they will be able to cite you for that. Reason being, if those leaves get into the waterways, they can clog, which clogs up the sewers, which backs up into people's homes. It can potentially flood someone's home. I know that there's the thought out there that you don't want your tree lawn to die, the grass to pass or die on there. So it's unfortunately part of Ohio. It's something we have to deal with. It happens every year. And our weather is so unpredictable and difficult, but you cannot put leaves in the road. And if they are in the road, we're going to give one warning, and then after that, you will be cited. So I have to be very clear because we don't want people to flood. We don't want to flood homes because we don't want our tree lawn grass to die. And, you know, I've had it happen in my front yard where the grass has died, but it has come back. So it's not, it always comes back. This is Ohio. We have plenty of moisture, which will bring it back.
They also have to be placed on the sidewalks.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people walk and ride their bikes, and I've gone through some houses, yeah, they put them on the sidewalk. The other thing, which I'm surprised you mentioned, just make sure it's leaves only, not those other surprises that seem to get in like giant branches. And 4,532 black walnuts that I think we have in our yard that are huge, and they'll just mess up the machine.
And again, this begins on October 25th of this year. It's a Monday. We generally do 2 passes to get it done, so you can kind of plan on that. We're working on the new communication for our website. It is being updated. I don't know if you got that done today, but we are going to update that to reflect that on our website. And we're always looking for ways to improve our communication of where we're at in terms of the LEAF program. So that'll be forthcoming as well. So thank you for that. Director Gelati.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Thank you to council for passage of resolutions 61 through 63. And I would just take a moment here to speak to the planning for resurfacing of roads each year. This is all information that you guys may already know, but we'll take a moment to rehash it. Of course, each year we select the roads to be resurfaced for that upcoming season on a year-to-year basis. This fall, we actually will be updating our pavement condition ratings report, which lists every road in the city from worst to first in that order. You guys are all familiar with the report. You've seen it before. The report provides us a general guide as to how to select roads for resurfacing, generally selecting the worst roads first. There are some other factors that apply, such as outside grant funding, the timing of any outside grant funding, underground utility, construction work, geography, and maybe some other items that I'm not thinking of. So that is the general process that's in place that we follow each year for that selection process. End of report.
Thank you. Director Chaddock.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start by thanking you and council for letting us bring John Doyle in to acknowledge him and the rescue that took place. I thought that was great to be able to just provide some further recognition. It was pretty neat to see the Red Cross presentation, albeit virtual. It was a good time to see that. Thanks to the service department for doing some decorations around the rec center. They look great. We've heard lots of positive feedback from all the guests coming into the facility. Everyone is getting in the festive fall mood, so that has been enlightening for us. This Saturday, we will be hosting the Haunted Manor at Longwood Manor, and we will be also using the Home Days area as well. It'll be Saturday, 2 to 5. And we encourage everyone to bring their kids, have some fun walking around. We'll have a lot of displays set up. Kids will be able to get some candy and walk through the Longwood Manor house as well to be able to get some more treats inside and check out the first floor of the house. Our HVAC units are currently being evaluated at the rec center, as well as new fire exit signage being installed. And we will also be hearing the supply chain as we wait for some more fire signs to come in. So those will be replaced throughout the rest of 2021. And then we have ordered 3 new seated ellipticals that will be in place hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we are working with the service crew to put together maintenance plans that will start in November for some night work at the rec center when we don't have inclement weather outside. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Director Veras?
Will there be any scary Care Bears at the Manor House?
I'll be set on fire that day.
No, I think the common question is the manor house haunted.
There is speculation.
It is in fact haunted, I can tell you.
I want to thank council for passing the ordinance number 65, hopefully our last amendment of the year. And want to let everybody know that the accounts payable, accounts receivable ladies in finance will be going to VIP training next Wednesday through Friday. And it should be great training for them. They're going to be with a bunch of other communities who use VIP. And so I look forward to them coming back with more ways to improve our efficiencies in finance and throughout the city. End of my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief Ripley?
Thank you, Mayor. Wednesday night for our 100th anniversary celebration was absolutely phenomenal. The support shown by the community, the support shown by the retirees that came back. The majority of council was there. A lot of city employees made us all very happy and very proud. And it's one of the reasons why we do what we do. And then to come in tonight and see them, once again, the majority of you wearing t-shirts, it meant a lot to me, and it's going to mean a lot to the guys, because I'm going to certainly tell them, and gals, about that. So thank you, and it's something we love to do and really appreciate it. I want to remind everyone, Mr. Finley mentioned it in the work session, that both Highland Road west of Route 8 to Old 8 is closed for the bridge replacement, has been for a few months, and Summit County also closed Twinsburg Road west of Walters Road for a culvert replacement. The good news is that is scheduled to be completed the end of next week. So right now, moving east and west is a very difficult thing. I also would be remiss, I wanted to thank Service for all their help at our 100th anniversary open house. They had some new equipment they had out. They were crossing people on Valley View Road in the dark, and people even commented about that, so that was phenomenal. And I'd like to thank you for the squad tonight. And that's the end of the report, Mayor.
Thank you. And I'll point out what I pointed out in that ceremony last week is that in 100 years, our chief has been here for nearly half of that. It's pretty amazing the experience that gentleman has.
HR Director, did you hear that?
Thank you, Chief. Lieutenant Yakupovich.
You know, as we all know, Halloween trick-or-treat's coming up October 31st. It'll be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We just ask drivers to be extra cautious. We all know we have a lot of children out on the roadway. Also, the Macedonia Police Department will again be participating in Trunk or Treat. It's held at the Professional Building at 8536 Crow Drive. It'll be Sunday, October 17th from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Excuse me. Detective Sergeant Cleland will be decorating the smart car, the SRO car. It's kind of a treat in and of itself. If you don't know Detective Sergeant Cleland, to see a giant.
He's not going to be in it.
He will.
Oh, no.
Getting in and out of that smart car. You know, I joke with him and tell him, if he has to go inside, just pick it up and fold it up and put it in your pockets. So, but it's nice for the kids, and it ought to be a good time. End of report.
Thank you.
Smart car can't decorate itself.
Lieutenant, do you also want to talk about speeding?
I'm sorry, Mayor. Yeah, we had a conversation earlier today. The police department has really ramped up our extra patrols in residential areas because we've been receiving a lot of residential complaints about speeding. We're going to be out there doing a lot of extra patrol. I'm sure a lot of folks see the signs we have that actually have a radar built in and showing the speed. We're going to be enforcing the traffic laws. I mean, a lot of times when we get these complaints, a lot of folks we stop are residents. Your neighbor's complaining, folks, slow down. We're going to be out there enforcing.
And as Councilor Tully alluded to, I think probably our last 3 meetings, is this the biggest complaint that council gets and I get too. So by ramping this up, we're letting you know that we're listening to you. We're going to take care of this problem. It's becoming more and more of an issue. So we got more of those signs. And so everyone's aware those signs are not going to send you a ticket in the mail. I've said before, we're not going to do that. But those signs do provide data to us, basically showing times of day, speeds, and it shows how fast people were going in averages. So it gives us an idea of how severe the problem is in a certain area. It doesn't sell that data. That data is only for us to look at. It doesn't say anything about who's driving the cars or anything like that, but it does give us good information when we're trying to figure out if someone says, someone's going 100 miles an hour down Crow, we can look back into there and get a good idea of what's really going on. So that data will be used. That will help drive where our officers are sitting, and we're only asking people to slow down, please.
Slow down, and you know what those red signs are? Stop. Step on the pedal and stop. And oh, by the way, when you look at the data for Berkshire, the 4, 5, and 6 is me running. It actually pops up.
Good job, Jan.
6, I get real excited.
You're hurting the average there.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, you're a regular Forrest Gump over there, huh?
I'm trying to get it to 7 or 8.
That's awesome.
I haven't been able to do it yet.
Director Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. We're very busy. I only have 3 reminders for the group. October 20th is our flu shot in this room from 7 to 10 a.m. November 4th, we have our biometric testing, which will also be in this room. The time information will be announced next week. I don't have the specific times. And the cancellation of October 18th task force meeting due to the fact we do not have renewal numbers and are not expecting numbers until sometime mid to late November. End of report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. The IT department closed 33 help desk tickets in the last 2 weeks. Major projects that I'm working on is a refresh of the machines in the fire department, mostly the machines that are used by the firefighters to do their reports. That's also going to extend out to the 2 auxiliary stations as well. And we have signed the agreement with our web vendor, so the kickoff meeting should be sometime next week to start that long and arduous process. I wanted to congratulate the fire department on a great event last week. End of report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did the fire department get that video over to Kyle to put it on the web, or is it on the web?
Both, the celebration of the 100 years and the ceremony itself video are both on our website. They are on the homepage linked to the community focus links.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Very good video.
Director Goodetti.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick heads up to council. The administration's been in the process of negotiating an extension of the cell tower lease agreement, the cell tower that the city owns. We originally entered into the lease back in 1989, I think, so it's been around for quite a while. So we're working on that. Once that's complete, we'll have legislation. And hopefully at the next meeting, we'll also have legislation for the last CBA that the mayor was able to get wrapped up as far as the tentative agreement goes. So hopefully we'll see that as well. And kudos to Mr. Bears for only 6 amendments to the appropriation measure this year. And the report, sir.
Who's that threat?
American Tower.
It's down now.
Verizon, and then they have American Tower administrating it.
Is that 5G?
No,
Not yet.
not high. No.
I think it's February.
It's too high.
It's
It's too high.
It's too
You put
tall.
5G on like poles.
Yeah.
Okay, any unfinished business? Any new business?
I have a couple of things. I want to thank also the service department for the amazing decorations, both here and the rec center. I've honestly never seen the city look so beautiful, and that's something that we talked about in the Future Growth Committee that was just attainable to do as long as we had the bodies to do it and the people who wanted to do it. So I really thank your individual staff members who came up with the ideas and ran with it. It's just amazing, and I can't wait to see what they come up with for Christmas. They're gonna have to, it's gonna be hard to top themselves, but it just looks great out there. And also, Ms. Tolley and I are wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October. These shirts are from the fire department, which supports breast cancer awareness. Macedonia has a fantastic facility next to Hobby Lobby. The Cleveland Clinic has a mammogram walk-in center. So every woman over 40, please get your yearly mammogram. And if you have a history of breast cancer in your family, talk to your doctor about getting it early. Mammograms are no walk in the park, but early detection makes getting on top of breast cancer it's much better to go through a mammogram than to go through breast cancer. And that's all I have.
And thank you for pointing out the breast cancer awareness. I lost my aunt in the last meeting. That's why I wasn't here, to breast cancer. And I appreciate everyone's kind words and sorry, it's hard. Okay, any other new business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Good job. Just because HR didn't.